Right. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Welcome, everybody.
Live?
We are live.
Okay. So about that mess your neighbor's making.
No,
wow.
He's not cook. I don't think he's cooking meth. He's doing something. He collects
he
these
not?
toy cars, right? And he's he needed like a small jar to mix like some caustic chemical. And then he sends me this fucking picture. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like him in like some kind of
What?
I hope he doesn't. I don't get in shit for this, but he's like all fucking duded up like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what he's doing. I don't think it's meth though.
Oh, okay. Well, thank God for that. Well, hopefully it's not meth anyway. Yeah, but I have this weird, strange scenario going. What's up?
Does he call himself Heisenberg?
I mean, he
Does
could
not.
be. Welcome, everybody. By the way, you're going to get a bunch of irreverent chat in the start at least the first 20 minutes, because like we always generally sort of have a chat with each other and have a chat with you guys, bring you guys up to speed on what's been going on and how we've enjoyed the week and such. So if you're new to here, it's kind of what we do for the first 20 minutes, and then we start to talk. We invariably end up talking about EVE Online, but
at some point.
This is a rule that was brought in by Dawn, wasn't it?
It is called the Dawn Rule. So
I didn't make it.
It was
I was
brought
forced
in
upon
because of Dawn.
Yeah, because of Dawn. Sorry.
Every time I talk to Dawn, it's like my fucking rorkles, or something. I don't know what the hell she yammers on about.
Well, I mean, lately it's been the exercise routine, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, but that's IRL stuff, and good for her. Dawn, do you want to tell everyone what's going on there?
No.
Has anybody ever seen the movie Taxi Driver?
Oh yes, this is what Greg thinks is happening.
Yeah, that's what's happening. And there's a quote somewhere from Taxi Driver. But anyways, in the movie, Robert De Niro, he decides he's got to turn himself. He's grown soft from sitting, so he has to turn himself into a killing machine. And he does like fucking pull-ups and sit-ups, and he puts his arm over a fucking Bunsen burner to like increase his pain threshold tolerance. And it's like a really good scene. And then it culminates with you talking to me? That one where he's got the fucking gun, right? It slides under his sleeve, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. So Dawn is doing that. Dawn is turning herself into a killing machine for whatever reason. I don't know.
I mean, half the time I have no idea what the hell Dawn is trying to do anyway. So, like, it's business as usual for me.
Listen, I'm just trying to get fit enough to walk around Vegas and get absolutely trashed.
Trashed, Dawn? Whatever would you mean?
I had a deployment where Navy SEALs rode our ship to go do something. So I'm pretty much a Navy SEAL. I'm already a killing machine.
Oh, is that the same thing as I've watched a lot of UFC, so I'm a tough guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Classic.
God damn you, Twitch, and you stupid shit. Just fucking load.
What's going on, Dawn? What's your problem?
It keeps just getting stuck in the advertiser where it doesn't move. You hit play and it doesn't go forward.
I'd like to say on behalf of INN, Dawn does not really mean fuck off Twitch.
No, I said what I said. So for those of you who don't normally watch Thursdays, today we are having some odd fill-ins with Ghoster, Avon, and Greg, who are gracious enough to join us today since Eric's out. Eric is gone somewhere today. I don't really remember where. Is it on vacation or something?
He has I think he has a wedding anniversary, something like that.
Oh yeah, his wedding anniversary. Yeah. So they're
do
here
things
to
for
help.
that.
I know.
Apparently, but
so they're filling in to help. Keep the flow of the show going. So, Soth, Mac, how have you been this week? Since I've already talked with these guys this week.
Hot. I've been hot.
how hot is it?
True.
And have you thought or considered central air?
Did you take off all your clothes?
Isn't that banned in Europe?
That's
Central
encouraged in
Air?
Europe, if anything.
Do you stick to that leather couch there, Saw?
I think it's banned in the US.
I have not sat on that leather couch for a few weeks now. I
was
don't
gonna
think I
say.
can get up again if I do.
I was like, I didn't think you'd want to even try.
Yeah, that's a trap. That is a trap right there.
Yep.
Come in, sit on this trap. I mean, sit on this leather couch. Yes. You know.
I did that yesterday or the other day on Theta Thursday. It was definitely a mistake to sit on the leather couch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
but
good.
if you're wearing clothes, you're not going to stick. It's only if you sit on it like shirtless or really tiny shorts or, naked.
You're assuming I wore pants while doing Theta Thursday. People can't see that.
Exactly.
There's nothing
Would
wrong
wear
with.
pants in this weather.
Yeah, you got to dress for the weather, right?
Yeah.
Or undress for the weather, whichever it is.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm going to be struggling with this for like an hour. I
No
had it
kink
set up
shaming
just-
here.
I thought it was
all good.
good, and now I'm screwed.
I could totally picture McLeod being just pantsless right now.
I mean, I've got a fan going as well, so that's great. I have like one of the like sort of 18-inch sort of like thingy fans going.
What?
I got a Vargas right now.
Fuck you. Fuck your mom. Fuck your mom's hoe.
Wow.
Wow.
Didn't know you were into that, Don.
Oof.
Now,
Hey,
speaking
no
of,
kink shaming.
Speaking
He's
of
got
fans-
the greatest luck.
did we want to push the future plans of INN and INN's OnlyFans that we may be coming up with?
Oh, is that where Briss shower pics are going to be added to the INN library?
I'm not privy to that information, but I heard it's going to be quite spicy. I heard that it's going to
Is that where the Theta Thursday first annual talent show is going to be hosted?
It may have to be.
I mean,
May
why do you
have to
think I
be.
shaved such a glorious mustache?
I
Yeah.
have pages of show notes and research for the talent show, like stuff like this. Like that's like a lot of writing, man.
Yeah, it's a fair
I
amount.
don't use any of those electronic tools like WordPad and Notepad and stuff that all the kids use. I use like jotters. Like I get an idea, I need to write it down right away, right? I don't
Yeah,
have time
exactly.
to bring up some kind of electronic fucking assistant device. Happened to the
Don't-
pen and pencil.
Don't you usually just like say, computer, write this down for me?
Funny story. I had to change my wake word for my Amazon device. So down here, I had it set as computer. So every time I'd say computer, my fucking Amazon device would wake up. So I changed it to Ziggy. You can change it to Ziggy now. So you say stuff like, Ziggy, what time is it? And then apparently the cat fucking comes
apparently
in
it
and
meows at you. Yeah. Yeah, you can't win. You can't win, Greg.
So the cat just brought me.
Greg, are you
cat
wearing a
just-
Canadian tuxedo today?
I am. The cat just brought me this, which is his first toy. I call it Stinky Mouse, and it's like a mouse. It's not a real mouse, but it's like a toy mouse that's wrapped in fucking butcher's twine, and it's his favorite little guy. Like he feeds it, he fucking takes it and like gives it a nice home and stuff.
That's so strange. All right, whatever.
Don, does your cat have a favorite toy other than its clit?
Oh my God, Greg, please.
Well, it's like you said, it's always horny.
Whoa.
Rip off.
Yeah. Dawn just died, or did something happened?
Oh, it's crazy.
You said the magic word, Greg.
Yeah,
No,
you still
Dawn,
like
no,
that, Dawn.
No.
Oh my god! Don't just like. I think I. Greg, what did you do? What did you do? You said something you
Epilepsy
really shouldn't
warning.
have, and the cat went
Epilepsy warning.
completely insane. Clearly. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. That was something that I could never have actually expected to happen in any way, shape, or form. That was entirely Dawn, and I have no idea what she just did. Christ
I
Almighty!
think she just destroyed her microphone.
Yeah, something
It
like
sounds
that.
like it.
Back.
I
Let's
mean,
see what happens.
How's that?
oh fucking thank God, Jesus Christ!
You did.
Sometimes my microphone's like, "Hey, we're gonna go high pitched."
It's not
That
high
wasn't
pitched.
high pitched.
That-
my microphone is
motherfucker.
that was nuts. Yeah, your Dawn
that
didn't
was-
go high pitch. Your Dawn, Dawn,
Did I go
your
like robot or what did I do?
No,
You're-
you went
Straight
full
fucking
like
storms.
demon invasion.
Well, you know.
yeah, your microphone acted as though it just like it just experienced a nuclear explosion. I don't know what the fuck it was.
Well, now that we're back to kind of normal, we
you know,
should,
I immediately was like, is this me or is this going out to stream? And I looked and I was like, it's going out to stream. Fucking mute this shit right
I'm
now.
so sorry.
You weren't fast enough. I had her muted before you.
Oh yeah. I mean, well,
So-
the thing is, I muted on OBS before I muted on Discord. Stream stream first at every single time.
back to
Ah.
normal. We should scroll down, maybe the people watching, and check out all the links below that you can click on. There's links and stuff.
Oh,
So click
there's
on
links
them if you
below.
want. Yeah, don't
Where have the
forget
links
if
been
you-
below?
on Twitch. If
Oh,
you
right,
link,
okay.
Scroll down on Twitch. Look at all the links. Anyways, they also
And
like
stuff. Don't forget
yeah.
the stuff.
and stuff. And if you haven't followed, you should follow, because then it gives you like a notification of when INN has stuff on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like Thursdays and Saturdays, twice on Saturdays. And I think we got doesn't Xanif do something on Tuesdays? Or used to, anyways.
Yeah, but I haven't seen Xanif do stuff in a while, so he might be on a break or whatever. So
Yeah, and if you wanted to subscribe, like you could do that too. If you
Yeah,
don't,
but-
that's fine.
I don't get paid for that. So I
No,
don't
but if
care.
you got an Amazon Prime thing,
Use
you
it
get a
on Asher
free-
stream.
You get a
Wait, we get paid to be here?
No, we don't get
Yeah.
paid to be here.
yeah,
Oh,
Dawn pays
God,
us at the
if
end of the
only.
show.
I know, right? That'd be nice, but no.
McLeod, Dawn told me you were paying 5 subs for me to show up today.
No, Dawn told me that you were paying us 5 subs to show up today.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, Dawn told me that I would get 5 subs if I get on the show. And I'm
Really?
not talking about stream.
Look at all these people that are following. Thank you very
So many
much.
followers.
Yeah.
No, don't, because that's literally an entire. It's a horde fleet that's like pissed because we're not undocking or some bullshit or
Oh
whatever.
well, I mean,
Well, hey.
you know.
Oh,
So
you need me
they're
to
coming in
undock?
to hang
Shit,
out and
stand
say
by.
hi,
Stand by.
but
I'll
they keep
undock.
on like
Horde?
they keep on screeching in chat, and I'm gonna delete every single one of them. So
Here, I'll undock.
What? No. Dawn,
No.
look it.
I'm in ZMV9. I'm undocking.
A lot of what they don't realize is that it's a 1 week restriction before they can talk in chat. So ha 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 ha.
Well, no. So one of the dudes that just followed us, Alexei Petrovich, he has fun in his praxis. He
All right, I'm
likes to go
undocked.
sit on the
Where are you guys at?
sit there and hope he eventually gets something. He's got a whole tank praxis. We've killed it a couple of times.
Like seriously, I'm
I mean,
I'm
it's-
fucking undocked. Where are you guys?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If like a single horde pilot wants
Oh, that's
to
right.
one
You guys
don't
one
fucking
coaster
exist.
at the sun,
I
make
am
an
the
X
king
in
of
chat.
the 1v1 of the sun.
The most hilarious part about this is they always complain and said we tried to brigade them on every one of their Twitch shows, and now they do this stuff. It's just kind of amusing to
What's
I mean,
the
I'm
set on the show?
I'm fine if they wanna I'm fine if they
All 6 remaining test members show up to our fucking stream. I'll take it.
totally
that
cool
would
if
be
they want to
funny.
follow us. And thank you very much, Gravebringer 86 for the Prime sub.
That is the other thing. They're trying to get around the follower only chat thing by subbing, which is kind of funny because it's counterproductive for
The
them.
multi-dollar media empire is expanding.
I'm helping you out there, Horde. I just typed undock goon slobs in chat.
I had a fucking undocked, untethered Titan, and nobody was even in ZMV. Like, I don't even know where they're at. What do you want me to undock in? I'm in a
Yeah,
fucking Titan.
where is this fleet? Let's fight them
I don't
like
know.
live on stream.
I don't know. I don't know.
want me
Like
to-
I didn't
I'm
even see
undocked right now, Gravebringer.
I didn't even
Come on,
see
baby.
a ping for a fleet. So that's why I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know. They missed the 2 timers we had already, so it's like they.
Oh, wait, I know what
Oh,
this
you
is.
know what? You know what? I
This
didn't
is
have my
aberration content denial.
I didn't have my pigeon open, so I didn't see any fleet pings. That's why.
I've had my pigeon open for like 6 months, and I have yet to see
See,
fleet
here's
things.
what happens. They're not competent enough.
Maybe they think we're formed for something and that we're not doing anything. Like, no, we're just hanging out, guys.
They're sad that we're allowing them to ref our forts, knowing that they're never going to show back up to actually
you
kill
see,
them.
you see, the thing
How many
is,
times have they shot the shields off the Fortizar in ZMV? I don't know, like what, 8th, 9th time?
Are they in ZMV or where they at?
They're not in ZMV. I'm undocked in a Titan, and they haven't even come to
so
say
they're
hi
they're
yet.
reffing one of our forts or something.
All right, so Horde, where do you want to 1v1 Ghoster? What system? What sun? You name the star, and we'll be there.
All right. Well, while Horde is having fun,
Have you
what
been-
they're doing.
What YTAC-F Morgie DG
Ooh.
says?
Deal.
All right, there we go. What are the rules? What are the ships? We're not supposed to be
Ship
talking
types,
about
numbers?
numbers, are we?
well, I mean, it's
No,
22
for
minutes
sure.
past, so we're kind of
We're
alright.
just getting there. Well, while you guys
Yeah.
you use chat to organize that.
What about you,
Oh.
Don? Are you any good at fighting, or are you just a minor?
I'm really good at preventing people from dying. That's what I do.
Would you 1v1 a Horde person for maybe like Twitch a Twitch sub? If you beat them, they have to sub to the channel.
No, not per stop.
Well, that's just setting up for a lot of abuse.
Hi.
Brenda.
Oh,
Welcome.
you've made it.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right there, Enders.
I was shopping for groceries. I do that.
I'll
every
forgive
now
you.
and again.
Why don't
It's
you
alright.
just order them like I do? Amazon brings
Oh.
me my stuff.
Gravebringer86, thanks for the sub. That's fucking awesome, buddy.
Yeah.
And Can You Associates for the follow. It's fucking righteous.
If you try to say every follow that we've got right now, it would take us
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Chiefs
Yeah.
that follow.
Actually, hang on. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Thank you for following
No.
Malsiv. Thank you for following Project.
Kalish, dude.
No, I only got through 2, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to
Yeah,
happen.
Loquacious7 gave you a subscription.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
this is
Location
awesome.
7.
25 months.
I mean, reoccurring sub as well. He subbed for 25 months. So thank you very much, mate.
So other than trying to annoy Dawn, what are you guys doing?
Well, we were having a hearty discussion before show about, and it's now Eve time, so we could talk about this, about some proposed changes to jump bridges that some people were putting up. I think they sound stupid 100% of the way. Soth agrees on some of them, but not most of them. And so we were having a little rousing discussion. I think jump bridges work perfectly fine the way they are and deserve no changes other than making them go further distances and be more useful. That's my position.
Like, it makes sense for us, maybe, but like the Pandemic Horde and Pappy guys, they got to focus on keeping them fueled for fights first before they talk about other.
See, if you're talking about making jump bridges available to everyone, then you get rid of the fuel requirement, because otherwise you tell people to fuel their jump bridges so their enemies can use them. That would be dumb, right? Only CCP would do something like that. So
Why would you make jump bridges available to everyone?
See, that's what I said. Why would I as a sov holder make it that much easier for baddies to move around my space, I would have maybe 2 or 3
Yeah.
key jump bridges, and that's it at that point. Or only put them up when I know we need to have a pathway to a certain area for extended periods of time.
You'd wind up onlining them right, like an hour before a big op.
See, the issue right now, quote unquote issue, especially for the smaller gang stuff, not small gang, smaller, right?
The issue right now is the one that people have been bitching about forever. Oh my god, people who control space actually have an easier time moving around their own space. It's so terrible that you actually have some sort of defensive capabilities. Oh no.
You're really
yes.
quiet, by the way.
Yeah, by the way,
Orinthus.
you are a little tad on the
I
quiet
put you
side
up to
right now.
200%. It's still not helping.
They do have a point though. If you
No, they
look at the-
don't. No, they don't have a point.
Oh, there we
Their
go.
point is utter bullshit, Soth.
There we go.
Yes, it is a massive advantage to be able to move around your space. Guess what? It's your space.
That's not what I'm talking about, though.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the fact that, they have to go the long way around?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
All right, then what
I'm
is the valid point they have?
I'm talking about that from transitioning from jump bridges on pauses to standalone NC-Plex, we actually lost some kind of counterplay to these structures, right? Because with the old jump bridges, you were able to tackle someone on the jump bridge. Now you can only do that with certain modules on capitals. You can't tackle a subcap on a jump bridge anymore.
Right, because it's not a jump bridge. It's a Stargate.
Yes, but if it's a Stargate, then it should behave like a Stargate, which means everyone can use it.
No.
No, you built it.
No,
you owned it.
It's a Stargate that you own, as opposed to a Stargate that is owned by Concord, which is what the normal Stargate network is.
I still think that, like everything in EVE, it should have some kind of counterplay.
It does. Shoot it.
No, that's
what we all said.
viable.
It's
Come on.
not. I don't think it's. I don't think that's the kind of counterplay that Soth is wanting.
No, it's not the kind of counterplay that Soth is wanting, but it doesn't have a pause to defend itself with automatically. You can't immediately just zip off to the pause to get into the pause shields. There are already built-in disadvantages. Now, granted, some of those are offset by the fact that people are generally smart enough to put a Citadel on grid with it. But
it still can't shoot.
But that can't shoot on its own. And yeah, there are trade-offs. It's a Stargate, though. It behaves like a Stargate.
Except for the players that built it are basically think of they hired the people that are running that station and keeping it going.
Right.
Why would they allow their enemies to be able to move through something they built? Why would you give docking rights to somebody or a building that you made unless you wanted them to have it?
Again, the easy, and it is fucking so stupid that CCP hasn't done this, that it's borderline freaking negligent. The easy way to enable counterplay and really shift the balance away from, oh my god, these things are ridiculous, for literally all of the upwell structures. Let them get hacked.
Yeah. I mean,
let somebody roll up in a Covops, stay in that sweet spot between 2K and 2.5 where they're still cloaked, and hack the damn thing. So that they can maybe, turn it off for 5-10 minutes.
Dirk's here, yay!
Or give themselves the ability to go through it.
Yeah. Something like that.
That's also.
It was only a half an hour.
Exactly. Absolutely. That would be the way to do proper counterplay. Instead of saying, listen, these Stargates suddenly just don't behave like Stargates.
Because and that's a great way of being able to disrupt a large group's kind of
Exactly.
ease of transporting and ease of sort of ease of
Right.
movement through their
and
space.
the same thing could be applied to things like jammers and beacons and dockable structures.
I mean,
You
for
hack
the
it, you've
jammers,
got-
like I would say
Oh
that
my God.
for jammers, I would say that like you could do that if the
I
jammer
would
is
say that-
offline.
No, I would say that I would go ahead and make it,
It would have to be a
something you
ridiculously
could
hard
do,
hack, though.
but it would have to be a harder hack because that's a dedicated defensive structure.
Yeah.
So
And
that's the
once
sort of
it's
thing where you
hacked-
need to have a serious hack on that.
Yeah, and once it's hacked, you need some kind of grace period for.
Oh, you know what?
Let's say
know what would be
hack it, it goes
hilarious?
down for 2 minutes, and then for another hour it can't go down anymore.
No.
Right.
Like, what about if it was intermittent? So it becomes intermittent for like a minute or for like 30 seconds.
I'd say that
So it's like
I'd say both of those are potential options, and there's no reason that it should be mutually exclusive. If to borrow a concept from tabletop games, if you just barely succeed, it's intermittent. If you actually like get a solid degree of success, you shut
Yeah.
it down for X amount of time. But once you do that, then basically the IT security guys are on alert for like an hour afterwards.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I
Whereas
just want to.
the minimal success gets written off as a glitch.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Just like to say thank you very much to Reckless. I did see that you subbed with your Prime membership. Thank you very much, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Anything for you, McLeod.
Oh, so we
and
have
and
Dirk
Dirk's
has
here,
joined
so
us today.
yeah. Hey Dirk,
Dirk, do you have
here?
an opinion?
I have many opinions. Which one would you like?
One that's
Dirk,
actually worth something for a change.
So it's like things that
I'm
Dirk
not sure I can provide you with that horrendous.
I think it's like things that Dirk would never say. No, I don't have any opinion on that one.
I know, right? So we were talking about, someone brought up that they want changes on jump bridges this week on Reddit. I don't know why now that they want to like bitch about this
They've
loudly.
been bitching about it for
I know,
Yeah,
it's been more of a low
comes up
simmer.
every now and then.
So basically, some of them suggested adding polarization, like wormholes, where like you can't just keep going back and forth. Some of them suggested opening it up completely to everybody. Like if you put one down, it's just a gate that you've made now. And then others have stated that it has to have jump fatigue again.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
I mean,
Like
Thoughts,
fatigue
opinions.
again. Fatigue is.
No, don't just add automatic. Like don't add
Look,
automatic kind of negatives.
as
like
far as things
and
like the
automatic
fatigue-
counterplay.
Yeah,
It's like it's dumb.
as far as things like fatigue and polarization goes, that's what the fuel is for.
Yeah.
If somebody's taking the time to fuel it, then no, there's already a cost involved. So
If I had to choose
it
one of those
also
three
feels-
options,
It also feels bad that you are being punished for being more active in the game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
if I had to choose one of those, I would choose polarization if I had like one of those three that I presented. Just because at least then like you could still use
weird.
it.
But the thing is,
And it
It's
doesn't
weird
change
because
much.
it's because it's
the
a
thing is,
jump
no matter
it's a
what they
jump
do,
gate. Sorry, go first.
No matter what they do, they have to put some work into making this happen. So why don't we go with the option that is the most exciting, right? And might actually add something to the game instead of taking something out.
and
Which one?
probably
Opening it for
takes the
everybody?
and probably takes the least work.
Yeah. I
And
think
the other thing
Arendis's,
is, like, the-
hacking idea is
Oh,
is
hacking?
awesome.
The hacking
Well, the
idea is
hacking idea,
so
all
so
the
that
hacking idea has to do, as far as like docking or being able to use it, as far as those parts go, all it has to do is a quick 5-minute
Ansiblexes,
add
by
to
the way.
a quick 5-minute add this to the ACL, bang, and then
Yeah.
after 5 minutes it automatically comes back off.
Yeah, I mean, the way they introduced antiblexers, I didn't agree with at the time. I thought making them just another gate, but one that we build, was boring and not. It's not exactly changing or taking the jump bridges that we had and making them into something, as to borrow Soft's kind of phrasing there, new and exciting. it's just taking something that we had that had various mechanics that made them something you had to think about using with jump fatigue at the time, and just turned it into, okay, yeah, you're in this X alliance, so now you get to do whatever you want and not think about it. I like the idea of hacking and giving that kind of access, or potentially giving access to people who are hacking it, or potentially just shutting it down for an intermittent, an X period. One thing I would like to see come back with Antiblexers is scrams, and people not being able to take Antiblexers if they're scrammed. I think that would force at least a few more fights if people can get caught on Antiblexers and not just jump straight back.
Or
I
being
think
able to
that was
double
a
grams, by
that
the
was a
way.
jump
That is a
bridge.
general thing for Stargates. Because I mean,
Ye-
gate rats,
Yeah,
be it pirate or navy, they point but they don't scram.
yeah. So that these are all options to kind of encourage more fights as people are
Yeah.
moving around in space. That I think are, something that CCP needs to take a look at, because we need more fights in space. We need more people in space,
but-
just generally, but we need more fights to get those people to want to be in space.
But if we talk about that, if we actually want to promote more fighting in space, then we also need to talk about nullification, right? Because that's the big one that has led to a lot less like smaller fights happening in space.
I don't know
you
about
can
that.
just-
I really think that the number of fights you
Wow,
get,
you are
with
super.
shuttles.
Yeah,
You're super quiet now. Suddenly.
What did you do, Rendis?
I didn't
Put it
do
back in your mouth.
anything. I did
It's
not
just
do
Arendis's
anything.
microphone.
Okay.
Discord hates me. Okay,
I think
Really
it's your
does.
microphone.
this has happened with multiple mics, and it only happens on.
Is there some like auto setting? Like, have you gone
I
into the
have
voice setting
gone
and
into
checked on
all
the?
of the settings.
Okay,
This
it's not
only
like auto
happens on
changing.
Discord, and it happens regardless of which mic and which device I'm on.
Yeah,
That's
Discord
weird.
really does just hate him.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, like for the Discord Discord sound that you guys hear in Twitch, like it's going through 2 compressors, 2 gain stages, and a limiter as well. So I'm trying my best to make sure that you guys can hear Horrendous when this happens and not get blown. You have your ears blown out when Dawn's like mic goes completely mental. But
Oh
you
yeah,
know-
mine was like a demon earlier.
yeah, it went nuts.
Ah!
That's just
Yeah.
you, Dawn.
Yes, that's
blame
just
that on your
Dawn.
mic.
Ah, there we go, Rendis.
Wow,
Jesus
too much.
See there,
Too much.
Arendis?
That works.
Christ.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, the nullification thing, to get back on topic at least a little bit.
Wait,
on this show
wasn't
for
everyone
once.
bitching about how there was too much nullification, and now you're wanting to say that there's not enough?
No, he's saying there's
No, we're saying there's too much.
I'm
Still.
saying there's
How
still
is there
too much.
too much? How? Oh
Look,
darn! I can't catch this freaking bestower or whatever the fuck it is, right? Oh no!
Yeah,
Okay,
all of
Yeah,
those
but-
all
If
of
you
those
can't catch it-
fights that people are going to get into with haulers.
I know.
But
Like, what else does it go
if you
on?
are, if you
Oh, my
can no
T3
longer
that you
use-
couldn't catch before.
Can
anyways.
can you let me fucking finish?
Go
No, she
ahead.
can't.
Sorry,
I mean, it's
Seth, go
Dawn,
ahead.
Soth, you know that.
If you don't have everyone running around in interceptors just running through gates, then all of a sudden there is a reason to have gate camps again. And if you
Yeah.
have gate camps,
No.
you have a reason to take out small fleets to take the gate camp out.
Okay,
And all of
but
a sudden
Soth,
you have small fleets roaming a space, right?
Soth, nobody. First off, nobody's running around in interceptors to move around.
Yeah, we're using shuttles.
They're doing it in shuttles.
So they get no
Okay.
fight because it doesn't
So-
fight back.
Same
And
thing.
no, you're not gonna see. Oh, let's take a fleet out to clear this gate camp, because the gate camp is going to be like 4 jumps away, not right next to staging, and people are just going to be like, it's like 5 guys. I don't want to bother.
No, or my
'Cause
favorite.
we get 5 guys in staging, and nobody can be bothered clearing them out.
Yeah. Well, so here's what happens. It maybe not too long after the war, after nullification changes, There was a gate camp of like 13 frigates and destroyers that were living in QX tech, hostiles. And what they would do is anytime somebody came in to try and deal with it, they would warp to the ESS grid and burn 400 kilometers away, and there was nothing you could do.
Right.
You couldn't get them. You couldn't stop them. You couldn't catch them because even if you tried to burn at them, they would just warp off. It was just this never-ending cycle. So after like 8 times of trying to get rid of them, you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Just don't use that fucking gate. Like, that's what we just started doing. We're just like, yeah. Because you couldn't, there was nothing, there was no actual way to catch them unless they royally fucked up. It wasn't like, oh, maybe if I had a slightly faster ship, I could get to them and, get the right fit. No, there was just nothing you could do.
Before this latest round of nullification changes, gate camps were already pretty much dead. Fighting gate camps was already pretty much dead. So it's not the nullification that did it. It's the fact that there's just not enough people going through space.
Or that they've got a dead space pocket everywhere.
Not for nothing, South, but if you want more people to be out there camping, or you want more people to be out there going after the campers, dude, log the fuck in. Go do it.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean, there really is a.
I feel like if I log in now, I'm sending the wrong message to CCP.
Well, I'm sorry, you can't have it both ways. There aren't enough people around, but I won't be one of them. I mean,
I went completely the opposite direction when CCP started absolutely shit nerfing their own game. I've got 27 accounts subbed right now to generate my own content in this piss poor current design of the game.
At this point, if you were to add like
yourself in small gang fights,
correct, you got it, Dirk.
If you were to add like 3 more accounts, all right, I think you'd be starting to hit the point where you could actually tell CCP, listen, I'm a significant chunk of your user percentage.
Yeah.
So you better fucking listen to me, because otherwise I'll just log off and drop your user account. Your PCU by noticeable amounts.
Hey, look, I'm more important to the PCU than test.
It's very true.
I mean, they obviously need all of the sub money I can give them.
Well, that's true.
They're clearly desperate for some money because they sold skill points again.
They've got fucking Omega on sale for the price that it was before they fucking jacked it up on us.
Oh no, they do that every 3 months.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon with CCP? What are they working on right now? Do they have like
the only thing we really know is faction warfare, really, and that's about it.
So more shit that people don't actually play in EVE. Got it.
Well, they're working on the frontline system and the allegiance system, and both of those things. The reason that they're focusing on faction warfare right now is because it's been like 14 years since they really did anything with faction warfare, and that was introduce it. So really, the system is kind of desperately in need of an update. As for, well, people don't play it. Yeah, because it hasn't been updated in 14 years. I mean, it's not exactly fair to say, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you working on this thing that desperately needs working on?
Yeah, no, the faction warfare changes have absolutely been required for God knows how long.
There's been a whole bunch of people basically on their knees begging for these changes for at least 10 years.
Oh yeah, no, I know faction warfare is way long overdue, but at the end of the day, it's almost like too little, too late. You didn't change faction warfare when it needed to be changed and relegated to the side. And I understand they had other projects that they wanted to do and get through, or they just didn't think that it needed a change or something. But now that people who used to do it are like, okay, I'm done because you won't fucking fix it. And they're like, okay, guys, we're gonna fix it. And it's like walking into a stadium 3 hours late. You're like, where did everybody go?
It's too little too late for sure.
They had other projects that they wanted to work on.
Like destroying the rest of the game.
And Project Nova and Project Legion and Project whatever the fuck the next FPS is.
If this frontline system works well, then hopefully they will find a way to adapt it for Sov warfare that does not involve Entoses.
I would be down for that because Entos, we were on a 5-hour op for Entos, because we were doing multiple Entoses, and we got trapped in system. We couldn't you couldn't just warp home on your own because there was a gate camp, and so I got stuck out there.
A gate camp, soft.
I got stuck out there for 5 hours, and I was so drunk. I was just like, Zentage, please. 40 more minutes, Don. No. It was a fun night though, but it got
Possessed
long.
Dawn is just making a show all the time today. I've been here 15 minutes and I've heard Possessed Dawn about 3 times already.
No, you
No,
didn't
that's just
hear
no, you didn't
Possessed
hear
Dawn.
Possessed Dawn. That's just me and my mic.
No, that's definitely not possessed. But, yeah, no.
But yeah,
You'll know
I
when
don't
that
know.
happens.
Yeah, trust me,
Yeah.
it's a very different experience.
Like Soft Warfare is getting on towards well, we've
7
hit
years.
7 years. at
Eve
this point.
2025, baby.
This is the longest we've now gone between soft mechanic updates in EVE Online. Because
Yeah, they literally said it's good enough.
Like,
That's
not-
literally what we're getting.
yeah,
It's good
That's-
enough.
that they've made a couple of minor tweaks to mechanics like 3 years ago, and went, yeah, sure. Excuse us while we go work on scarcity.
There's
Yeah.
literally so much that they need to fix because, like, God, I could go into so much about just like the mining side of like what the fuck were they doing for the past 3 years that nothing turned out the way it should have. But I'll try
Nothing turned out
withhold.
the-
I'll hold back.
Nothing turned out the way they wanted it to. Everything turned out exactly the way it would have.
I
Like,
know.
There was no other way this was gonna go, and we told them that.
Yep.
Apparently, Ron USMC is a little angry with us.
Who?
Why?
Yeah,
'Cause-
where is
Who?
Ron? I haven't seen him in a while.
Why? Because he's busy
Stop
doing
playing.
Start Scam Citizen or something instead. Whatever the
I don't
fuck
know.
he's doing.
Who's
Some
he
of
angry
it.
with?
With us. I sent Dawn
Okay.
No,
a.
he's not. He's
can
not
be
angry.
like 15 different categories.
He's not
Yeah,
angry with us.
Do you
He's
mean
just
the
being
Imperium?
petty.
Do you mean INN? Do you mean you and Dawn specifically?
Here you go.
Do you need
It's
a
in
hug,
chat.
Horrendous?
No,
Oh.
I need you to actually be
I
informative.
posted it. I
He
posted
just
it.
needs better
Read it
collective
out.
nouns from you all.
Okay, first off, while you're reading that, Ernest, I'm going to post in chat, just as a side note. We had almost like 6 months ago a debate on cider, and someone finally found a great video. Soft kindly found a video that explains cider between America and the UK and why each is labeled the way that they are. So
And the
we
answer
wanted
is
to-
that you're not drinking cider.
we are.
That doesn't honestly, Dawn. That doesn't seem like Ron's mad at us. That seems like Ron's mad at basically everybody who has, not acknowledged his obvious superiority because,
He's the number one
That-
streamer of
that
all
sounds-
time.
I
I
acknowledge his
wanna
superiority
point out-
complex.
I
If you
just
want.
want to point out, Ron, I am pretty sure you did never beat Anger Games numbers.
Why are we
So,
engaging
come at
with
me.
this?
I don't
Yeah,
know. What
this,
do we?
this seems
funny.
pointless.
I
This
was
seems
just
pointless to me.
responding to Dawn. I don't really give
I-
a shit what he thinks.
I could care less. Really.
I didn't even bring it up. Greg's the one who sent it to me. But anyways, I put the cider video in there. It explains the difference. I guess if you go by old standards, yes. What your version of what cider, the fizzy apple drink, is officially cider, and then ours is pulpy alcoholic drink, and then there's we have like the hard cider, which just means it's alcoholic, and then you have the cider, which is just
I would
pulpy apple
say-
juice.
This is
And then
the
I
point.
would say-
Cider is alcoholic.
Just listen.
Not to the
watch the
US,
video.
but-
Don't listen to Dawn because Dawn can't explain shit.
Yeah,
No,
you're
but
in
the video
Canada. Wait
The
a
video
second,
does
wait
a really
second.
good job of explaining like the differences and why and stuff. So the guy does it, and he's actually got a lot of great videos. So I would recommend checking him out. He does a lot of history, which is interesting. But
You being paid to say this?
no, I thought it was interesting. I watched the whole thing.
How much you getting, Don?
Nothing.
Anyways, here in Canada, apple cider, it's like a fucking drink, and it's like fresh squeezed apples with pulpy stuff in it. There's
See?
no
That's just
alcohol in it.
I
apple
told you.
juice.
Yeah, whatever. It's called apple cider.
Yeah, it's just
I don't
cloudy
know,
apple juice.
It has to be fermented
Yeah,
to be cider.
In the old world, we really don't care what happens there. So enjoy.
In the old world, you guys used to call like apple juice, and like fermented apple juice cider. Like until prohibition actually happened, that's what that's
They're
when
the
you
new
lost
world,
the
Mac.
cider thing and you went like to the cider and apple juice thing, and you just went to cider.
Kind of missing a step there. So the cider was there first because we didn't really know how to get the juice out of apples without them fermenting on their own, right? So
How do you
every
get
apple
juice out of apples?
there was hard cider. Just because
I am
cider.
so not going near that one.
It's just cider. It's just cider.
Like,
Because it was
Jesus.
because like literally you don't have to do anything to apple juice to turn it into cider. And the reason why people drank cider, you know, more so than apple juice was because apple juice could potentially still harm you in some way, shape, or form. But if you like basically put it into something and left it, it would ferment and the alcohol would kill off some bugs, and you would actually have something that is safe to drink. That's kind of why everybody used that's why in the fucking old ass times people would drink like beer and cider rather than water, because it was likely that the water in the local place had pathogens that could actually cause you to get ill and potentially die. So, you know. But it was when Prohibition came in the US that you guys were like, you know, oh, alcohol bad. And although the beer industry did survive, the cider industry just didn't.
Made a lot of Canadians rich.
But it's
It's also why you guys can't have a proper pint, by the way, Prohibition.
Oh my goodness. But there you go. So if you guys want to learn some stuff, there's the video.
Those measurements changed in the 1700s, Dirk.
And yes, there are different.
You haven't been able to have a proper pint since the 1700s.
No, in the 1700s, just after the American Revolution, England changed the size of its pints.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, there's a brewer's pint, right? And that's like a specific measurement that's not a pint.
You guys basically went, yeah, listen, we're making the pint bigger for, you know, reasons because Parliament.
Because awesomeness, that's what it was.
Okay, I stand by my statement that you guys aren't having a proper pint, but you know, fair enough. I will lead, you know, acknowledge the fact that we made it superior.
Can't we just
here's the real question.
blame the French?
If the British want to be posh, is it aluminum or aluminium?
Well, there's two eyes, so yeah.
Yeah, it's always been aluminium. Just because you can't pronounce words.
Master already went over this. The dude that originally discovered it called it aluminum, and the British government wanted to be fucking fancy and posh and changed
it wasn't even the British fucking government. It wasn't even the British fucking government. It was a dude who attended one of his lectures and then published what he'd seen. Published articles about what he'd seen, who decided it needed to be brought in line with titanium and other metals.
Yeah.
Which is logical.
There's a logic to
what the discoverer named it.
Yeah, but who gives a shit about the discover things?
Who gives a shit?
Take a look at Nikola Tesla.
Called it. You know, if we're gonna have a proper name for this thing, I guess we can change it whenever. So it's back to aluminum, because hey, who gives a shit what you guys called it?
I knew that would get us back on a proper debate. Wait, who had a food thingy? Mac, did you have a food thingy?
Well, I kind of had a food thing, sort of like a bit of an anecdote.
That whole people didn't drink water in the Middle Ages in like ancient times is bullshit.
Well, I mean, you can filter it, yeah, sure, but like, you know, if you're just sort of taking like water from rivers and stuff like that, like can be dangerous.
Running water.
Yeah.
No,
I've been
like
the salt water.
If it's running water, then it's more likely to be fine than standing water.
Yeah,
but you can't guarantee it either.
Is bad. Standing water has things like bug eggs in it.
But you can boil it. Of course,
you want to be as close to the source of running water as possible, because you might have like dead sheep or something in the river upriver.
Yeah.
Like,
and you don't know who's like, you know, like relieving themselves in the stream upriver, like that kind of thing happened. Like, of course it did. So you know, but like there was, But that's true, and that's probably one of the reasons why you shouldn't drink some river water from even nowadays.
Who's
But like,
talking
you know,
river water?
back then,
Put the
back
water
then
in your
you
plumbing.
boiled water anyway, and you could kill pathogens like that. So, you know.
McLeod, would you rather have a brain-eating amoeba or an Amazonian penis fish?
Oh, that's a tough choice.
Oh, that's yeah. Are we doing these either ors kind of thing?
Oh
Yeah, it's a
god.
either or. You gotta choose one.
This is what we get for
Can I
inviting
have
Beta
neither?
Thursday
Can we
people
have
here.
neither or?
What?
Like, I would like to have neither, please. Thank you very much.
Nah, you got to
Listen.
choose one.
If you had been here
No.
earlier, you would have had choices.
Would I prefer to have Arendis's like dodgy microphone or Dawn's like fucking psycho microphone? I think
Mine
I'll have
turns off
Arendis's,
quickly.
please.
I could turn mine off quickly though and change it. Clearly, I fixed it.
That wasn't quickly though.
It
Well-
was not. It was not quickly enough.
Okay, well, we'll get there.
Like we have to mute you twice.
Well, that's because at first I didn't understand why I was muted because no one said anything. So I unmuted myself, and you were like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
You had said something, but a different story, but you didn't. So,
I think I'd have. I think I'd go with the first one. By the way, not the first one in chat, but like the first option that that you kind of said to me.
Amoeba?
Yeah.
That's
oh, I don't know if you could hear that, but apparently it's going to rain here soon. We're
Oh,
supposed to
there
be
was
going
a-
to a big tribute concert tonight, so we'll see
was-
if that happens.
Was that some thunder?
Wait,
Yes.
what kind of tribute concert?
A Beatles tribute band.
Is it
Hmm.
like
I don't know
which
who it is.
one?
I don't know.
Which
They're-
era Beatles?
which Beatle? Like
I
they
think they're going to do all
they do
of the
solo tours
eras.
now.
It's all Ringo.
I've
It's all
tried a new
Ringo.
cooking method. I feel like a true
Four
millennial doing it too.
Ringos.
Have you guys tried this salt block cooking yet? It's actually pretty good. I feel like a true
Salt
millennial do
block.
it.
That's where you cover things
You
in
like-
sort
you-
of like.
You
No,
heat
you
up a
have, like,
block of
a-
salt
like-
and cook things on
Yeah,
it.
you have a big block of salt. You heat it up
Oh.
in the oven, and
And
you
so
you
it gets
cook things on-
salty.
I thought you meant
Yeah,
like
so
salt
it's
crust
salted.
stuff because like what you can do. You know when
It's
you
essentially-
have you ever heard of like meringue, that kind of thing? Like you basically like whip up egg white and then you put sugar in it. And you
Yeah,
make
like
meringue.
lemon meringues.
You can do the same but with salt, and then you basically cover like something in that, and it cooks it into like a salt crust, and then you break it out
Yeah,
of that
that's-
salt crust. That's a thing apparently.
I don't know. I just like the salt block cooking. It's good for like. It doesn't cook well, but if you're putting like a sear on something like that, it works pretty well.
Seems interesting for sure.
We're still
I
getting a
had
hard time.
It
My-
sounds
my-
very pretentious. Not gonna lie.
It does
That's
seem
what
a
I
bit.
said. I feel like a true millennial doing it, but
can-
like it's pretty good.
No, if you want to be super pretentious, it has to be Himalayan salt, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's what it is a Himalayan salt block. That's what you use.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. So it is super pretentious, right?
Yeah, it's
Fair
not
enough.
like sea salt. It's a Himalayan salt block. This is a big
Wow.
square. I had to go get it from William Sonoma too.
Who the hell's
Damn.
William Sonoma?
It's like kitchens. It's a millennial kitchen store.
I thought of some dude that just sells stuff. Old Billy Sonoma. Get all my good shit
at the
from
back
him.
of his van. Yeah.
They sell a lot of kitchen products that you never need, but it sounds good when you explain it to your neighbor.
So it's like a Brookstone.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You
they're
just go to
involved.
Brookstone and you're like,
They're
yes,
usually
I
right near
need
the
that. I need that calf massager.
I ended up
It's
getting
portable.
a what was that, pizza stone, but it's actually pretty good for baking anything like bread and stuff like that on it.
Yeah, it's
great.
like it's a nice flat hot surface.
Mhm.
Pizza stones are just nice because they don't
just
have
retain-
like edges and they,
But they
are
retain
the
all,
right
like-
shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they retain a lot of heat as well, so you get like a lot of like a lot of good kind of browning and stuff like that from underneath.
They're-
And cheers, Froggy Storm, for
Hi,
the for the sub.
Oh wow,
I think
thank
the
you.
only way you really get away calling Williams Sonoma a millennial store is because in 2000 it turned 17. It's been around for a while.
Well, no, that's
Their
Reddit.
Google description says explore expertly crafted products at an upscale chain store offering high-end cookware, house label, kitchen accessories, and gourmet goods.
Yeah, so that really
Now,
doesn't sound
You know,
millennial.
if you want something nicer,
That
just go to
sounds
Crate and
hipster.
Barrel.
Does it have 6 or 7 different like gadgets for cutting
Yes.
open and
They have
de-seeding
4
a?
gadgets for mincing garlic alone.
All with strange
I mean,
names.
how many gadgets do they have for avocados? Because that will really cement it as a millennial
And
store.
what Froggy said in chat is normally correct. Where you need to take out it's like Whole Foods, whole paycheck. It is definitely overpriced, but they were the only ones that were selling the salt block I wanted for cooking. Like I could have bought one off Amazon, but it was going to take like 4 weeks to ship for some stupid fucking reason.
Max,
It's like,
So
it's like you bring a bunch of stuff to the actual till, and they're like, "So how do you wish to pay for this?" It's like, well, I've had to sell some stuff, so
the
Well,
answer
it
to your
was,
question is
so-
10.
The salt block, it's like 2 feet long and like a foot wide, and it cost me like $70.
Jesus.
Why do
And
you
it's
need this?
It's like a 2-inch thick block of salt to cook on. I don't need
Why-
it. I wanted it. Fuck yeah.
Like,
Like I said, it's a store full of things you don't need, but you want.
Yeah,
bruh.
most cooking stuff, like beyond like knives and the usual shit, is a want rather than a need.
I wouldn't, Froggy, I would never ever buy a knife there. I have a very nice set of Dow Strong knives.
Yeah, as Buster in chat says, like, you can mince garlic with a knife, easy. You know what you're doing.
I didn't buy the garlic mincer. I just bought a salt block thing.
We've got some events coming up, don't we? Isn't like Eve
hell
Vegas
yeah.
soon?
Woo!
What is that,
Vegas
October?
is like 2 months away still.
Are you going, Dirk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going. I
No, I'm the
couldn't
only one that
afford it
goes.
this year. I
Eric
wanted
was
to go
supposed
this
to
year.
go.
I wanted to go this year, but with the other travel that I've done this year, it's just not realistic at all. And I'm not gonna dump myself into whatever amount of like overdraft to
Just
go
to
and
go
be
there.
silly in Vegas for a weekend,
Yeah, it's more like for us Europeans, it's more like, hey, do I go to Vegas or do I go to like 5 other Eve meets?
Yeah. Like
Pretty
literally
much.
for the cost of going to Vegas alone this year, I've been to like 4 different, 3 different EU countries. Like, it's...
What do you think of the idea of INN live streaming all Vegas events?
I think that sounds like a terrible fucking idea.
I think it's hilarious.
You'd see and hear nothing. It's just a bunch of people being loud and
You have like an action camera style like presenter / interviewer that's just like running about and like with like a camera crew just like grabbing people and interviewing them.
Look, like that Billy Eichel guy or whatever.
If INN were to live stream all of Vegas, okay, you would have either a completely unintelligible, garbled, nobody knows what the hell is going on presentation for the whole time, or you'd have that punctuated by clear video evidence of crimes.
I mean, I was thinking, the first one sounds perfectly fine to me.
I would watch that.
You wouldn't be able to tell what the hell is going on.
Although you can,
you'd have like an hour. You'd have like an hour of somebody's wearing a freaking head cam, right? And then by the time you got to the second hour, they're already drunk enough that just watching the stream is going to give you motion sickness, and all you see after like an hour and a half is their feet.
I mean, have you heard the audio of like FanFest roundtables?
Oh god, it's atrocious.
I know.
And now imagine that with goons who are like super drunk.
With goon video, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like if I did it, you'd see me at the pool one day, and then
the thing is, that'd
be the only interesting stuff.
Is that the experience of being there?
What, Avon?
I said, you said the only interesting stuff is the pool and that and whatever. What about machine gun helicopters?
Okay, well, maybe we'll videotape that and maybe share that.
So what I'm
I
wondering
gotta
is
take
like,
off. I will catch you guys later.
Bye, Aranda.
Take
Cheers,
care,
Arandas.
what I'm wondering is that kind of presentation of an Eve meet the experience of the Eve meet? In which case, there's probably maybe someone's interested in watching that. Vicariously going to an Eve meet to see what that's like, and you get to see it via Twitch.
I think
like
that
I boycotted the United States of America, so I'm not going, right? So so I'd like to watch it though.
Going outside half the time.
I went outside on Theta Thursday the other day.
it's true. He did. Finally
did.
learned something new. So the machine gun thing, I think we should film that for Theta Thursday and get Mafuni to like edit it up.
Why are you
Or-
talking about
What?
that none of this is relevant to this show?
You can chase Mifune around in a fucking helicopter with machine guns.
No, Mifune's not going in the helicopter.
No, fucking Mifune's on the ground, and he's got to dodge the
He's not going to be
helicopter.
there.
You can use airsoft stuff, right? That'd be
No, these are real
hilarious.
machine guns, Greg.
You could hunt Mifune.
There's a side note.
Sign me the
QuakeCon-
fuck up.
QuakeCon is apparently going on at the minute. Did anybody realize that QuakeCon was still a thing?
What's
I didn't
QuakeCon?
realize Quake was still a thing,
What's QuakeCon?
Exactly.
let
that-
alone the
Was that
convention for it.
You mean like the game Quake?
Yeah, the game Quake.
Yeah.
Is there, like,
By the
10
people who
like
also
Three
made Doom.
dudes at a hotel room circle jerking each other, saying they still love Quake.
Apparently,
So
I don't
fucking
know.
Weird.
I mean, it could be.
Is it an e-sport? Is it?
I've heard of people selling, experiences for that are worse than that for money. So yeah,
What does qualify as an e-sport?
A game, and you have some
a
sort of
multiplayer
competition.
game of some form. I think. Yeah.
Is Eve
It's just
Online
easy.
an e-sport?
No, there's no competitive aspects to it.
Well, no, we have the Alliance
You
tournament.
have,
so
you have Alliance
can.
tournaments and Anger Games. Like I think those are
Well, you can.
somewhat qualifiable for esports. Yeah.
Could we get like
Uh,
sponsors and money?
To
No.
let you know,
You need an audience for
the
that.
last
CCP can't even get sponsors and money. What makes you think we can?
the last Quake game was released 2 days ago.
What? Which one was this?
Yes.
Is this some mobile fucking MOBA Quake version on a mobile game on a mobile phone?
Quake Champions
Quake
has
Champions,
left
yes.
Steam Early Access.
Oh,
Yes,
the
it
one
was-
that.
it was in early access for
Oh, okay.
5 years.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
So
Yeah,
they
I see.
released it. They moved
They-
it from
they
early
re-
access yesterday to like
It's
coincide
released.
with QuakeCon.
It's
That was
released.
their big flagship announcement, no doubt.
It's
They
released,
released
but
early
it's
access
actually a
games
re-release,
and
if
nobody-
anything.
No,
And-
it's out of
Does Steam say how many
Beta,
people
so
are
to say.
currently playing it? Doesn't it say that?
I could look.
Some of these
it's-
early access games are pretty good. Like we're playing one right now in Theta.
Oh
It's
my
called
God.
Scum.
In the last 30 days,
Oh, Scum's
it
been
had
around for
400
fucking ever.
It had 420 players on average.
Woo!
Like Scum is never getting out of early access. just
Oh
as
no,
a
it
point.
totally
Yeah,
is. Like, they're
Scum-
totally working on it. I put a
Some
link
good
to our
updates
server.
lately.
Take to technically not be in early access, like 8 years.
Scum was around when I
Um,
was playing like Rust, and when I was playing like, fuck, what was it? Like H1Z1. Like I knew of Rust. I'm sorry, I knew of Scum when I was playing H1Z1.
Well,
Yeah.
then
That's
it
how
was
fucking
just
old it
single
is.
player.
It's not coming out of early access, like because it was in
Sure.
early access then.
Yeah, they have they're like 0.8 now? No, 0.7 now, and the next patch should be 0.8, and then they'll do 0.9, and then 1.0 will be their gold or whatever.
No,
they call it.
0.91, 0.92, 0.93.
No, you go 0.9, 0.10, 0.11.
Oh yeah.
That's how version numbers work. Sorry to say
that is how it goes. Yeah.
I mean, it's better than Ashes of Creation, the new Star Citizen fantasy game.
Actually, that looks pretty good.
But I will say that like there are some games that I've started out playing in early access that have been absolutely fantastic and well worth the time and money investment. Like Oxygen not included. I don't know if you've ever played it. It's kind of like you've got to build a base with
you were
these
just
little.
describing your brain activity.
Oh well. Fair enough. But
Baldur's Gate
yeah, no.
3. Really looking forward to the release of that one.
Someone said that that Dual Universe is releasing soon. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fan of voxel stuff, but
isn't that the game that saved us from Omeka? Like, isn't he over there now?
It saved us for a few. It saved us a few people because I think there was a few kind of very caustic and very toxic people who went over there. Because like I remember somebody starting a company or an org over there, and it was, you know, the usual kind of Nazi-esque kind of stuff in the name.
Arrogance.
I can't remember who it was, but I think it may have been somewhat tissue related.
I heard that Omeka already failed in Dual Universe. So we're preemptively safe from
this like some metaverse shit or something?
No.
Dual Universe? No. It's just
people who go be furries in video games.
Yeah, it's not a Second Life sort of thing. It's just it's just another sort of universe sim thing.
I've asked this question before. Hilmar tomorrow wakes up and he fucking grabs a hold of the plug for the servers for EVE Online and fucking yanks it out of the wall in a drunken rampage. What do we all play? What game do we all gravitate towards?
Starses.
I mean,
looking at this room right now, I think it's Tarkov.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some Tarkov players in here, but like I know a fair few people who play Star Citizen, and to be honest, like, I mean, you go back a few years, and you sort of like listen to the shows, and you'll hear me talk about like Star Citizen, and you know, refer to it as Scam Citizen. And to be completely honest,
New World, how did that end up working out?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's definitely better than it
Then
was.
What?
Than what it was. It's just so I'll give you the main reason why the game fucking died quite badly, you know, in terms of numbering, in terms of like concurrent players.
What's his name?
Yeah, with Ace.
What was his? Yeah, with Ace. Are they still? Is he still playing?
Yeah, he's still playing. I'm still playing. You know, we do.
He's still playing Star Citizen.
We do a show every Wednesday with talking about New World, Lost Ark, and Star Citizen. So it's going pretty well.
It was me, you, A's, and like a couple others that was playing a lot of Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody know where the multi-fit button gone in Eve? I'm actually asking an Eve question for once.
My God.
Where is the multi-fit button gone?
Ships? Fuck, I know I used it at some point when I was fitting a bunch of jackdaws. It's somewhere, I'm sure of it. I don't want to start up Eve. I don't want to start up Eve.
Don't you just right-click on a safe fit and go multi-fit?
We'll find out in a second.
Yeah, it's kind of it's in an awkward place. It's not obvious.
The cloud, you know, I'm looking for.
Yeah, you've got to save the fit and then multi-fit it. That's
say I don't log in.
Exactly intuitive.
And the cloud, I want it.
What's up?
I said I own the Orion and the whole E in Star Citizen, and I need it to be.
When is Star Citizen going to be?
Orion will be pretty nice, yeah.
When is Star Citizen? This is a loaded question. When is Star Citizen going to be a viable, playable multiplayer experience game?
So after 4.0, it's likely to be a lot more accessible for multiplayer because after 4.0, they're going to be you're going to potentially have the what is it? can't remember the term. It was server meshing, right? Once they have server meshing, then it means that the kind of the experience can broaden out to a lot more people, and it won't be server capped as much in any way, shape, or form. So right now, servers are capped at like 100, and I think the max is like 120 or so. But like after server meshing, like I think the sky's the limit to some degree, but we'll see.
So aim for 4.3 because they have to fix all the bugs, and then they have to do some balancing, and then they have to fix some bugs that they reintroduced with balancing.
As is always the case when it comes to game development. Yeah.
Yep.
Are we
You
ever
put
going
some
to
new
see
features up, you have to squash those bugs and those fixes, and invariably, screw something up.
See, that's the issue with live development, and by live development I mean that your players are playing the game throughout the development, right? Usually in classic game development, you do the whole bug fixing and performance issues. You take care of that at the end, right? You can't do that when you're doing live development because you still want it to be somewhat playable throughout, right? Everyone understands it's early access, right?
It's pretty playable right now. Like me and McLeod would spend hours like going around and like mining on planets or looking for things to do. Like we would spend hours in these little buggies mining on the planets. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun as hell.
But try to play it with like a 5-year-old graphics card. Like that's
well,
not gonna
I'm playing it
happen.
with a 1070, dude. So like that's close.
Yeah. But
So I mean, I'm not getting 120 frames, so you're probably going to be there going like, "Oh, this feels terrible." But like,
I feel like that's a horrible argument because try to play any modern day video game with a 5-year-old graphics card. People make their games use more. Like,
yeah.
Even Online.
Try play Cyberpunk with a 5-year-old game with a 5-year-old graphics card.
Try to play Halo or Call of Duty or the newest whatever or even Battlefield 2042, the shit-tacular game of the fucking last decade, and you're not going to be able.
And I would like to say, like, partners in chat may be saying that, like, Star Citizen is run by a tiny team. The development team there at CIG is like 2 to 3 times the size of CCP. So.
Yeah, and they just had the whole plans for a new expansion of it. They bought that whole new building and everything.
They literally had because their development is really kind of like quite transparent, but they literally have a team the size of CCP's like entire staff working on just the storyline, just the story of Squadron 42.
Will we ever see large scale like Eve type fleet bottles in Star Citizen?
I mean, I hope so, but like, I hope it runs better than Eve Online.
But I don't think it'll be plans for that. And
there's not plans for it.
We all know how ambitious Chris Roberts is. Okay.
I think it. I mean, so. With the new server caps, like somebody actually has like put 120, 110 or so people in the same ship in the same sort of space, like warping around a system. So it's in that kind of sense, like that's impressive just from a single server sort of standpoint. But like and that's what I mean there is like not just like 100 something ships, but like people in a ship, flying around, quantuming around to different areas. But that's before server meshing as well. So, but like I think it's like it's a different kind of game and a different sort of feel to Eve, where you can smash like thousands of people in, like, because you don't ever get like a metric as to how many people are in a certain area or that kind of thing. So you get an idea as to how many people are on a server. So in that kind of sense, but once server meshing kind of comes in, like that's going to be very like, I don't think that's really going to be something that they can sort of tell you. There won't be a metric for that.
Are we going to see a player-driven economy?
I mean, they want to. They want to have a player-driven economy, as far as I know. but then again, like, so this is a strange misnomer, and this is kind of like a funny thing that I kind of feel that even CCP kind of forgets. Like, EVE Online didn't start off as a player-driven economy. Like, it was like a hybrid of part player-driven economy, part NPC-driven economy, and you still have NPC elements to this. Like, you go and you go and do a DD site, and you come out with a overseer's effect. You're not going and selling that to a player. You're selling that to an NPC buy order.
Well,
You know, and there was
guaranteed a ton of is from running the Abyss by selling those survey databases to the NPCs for 100,000.
Yeah. And that's not a player economy. That's entirely NPC. Like, the NPC spawns the stuff, NPC buys the stuff. Like, you're just the guy who takes the thing from the NPC and sells it to the other NPC. Like, and EVE's economy was a lot more like that at the early start, like the early point of of EVE Online. They kind of like pulled back on the amount of NPC like stuff that was had NPC buy orders, and players filled in the void.
Which should be interesting, anyways. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the development. When he first asked for money, I gave the guy like $60. Like, that was how many years ago?
Coming up on 10, right? Like, couple months, and Star Citizen's going to be like 10 years old.
You're complaining about giving $60 to RSI. Greg, how much do you think you spent on EVE over the year?
Lots. No, I didn't complain about.
You don't want to know how much.
You
don't want to know how. You don't want
a long time ago. So.
You don't want to calculate that. Let's put it that way. The nice thing about actually, the strange thing is, I thought I actually hadn't spent that much on Star Citizen, but like there's an area you can go where you can actually see a breakdown of exactly how much you've spent. And apparently, I spent around about $500.
I have lots of golden cosmetics and some other stuff that tell me how much I've spent. You got tiers of fuckness.
Yeah.
I think I'm a fleet admiral now.
Oh shit! You spent that much? Jesus Christ, man!
It's not a little.
It's that's not a lot. That's not a little. Sorry, yeah.
What?
How's your dinosaur game going, Don? That could be another game we could play, right?
I'd say the servers hold up to like 200. Well, 150 is the more comfortable amount, but 200 a server, yeah. It's good. I get to the server I play on is making a lot of changes, and I will say for what they've got to work with, the admins are willing to make changes rapidly if people don't like how certain rules are or how certain restrictions are on like the dinosaur profiles. And I've had to more than once argue with them about their grammar. Like, Dirk, I really need you to just proofread their shit. That's what we need. Because like they write like,
you pay me for it?
Grammatically, everything's fine, but the problem is they don't understand context. So if you have a section titled territory challenges, and then someone says, and then a rule says, after a fight, you cannot challenge again, would you assume that means territory challenges under the section called territory challenges?
You would think so.
No, it also means body challenges, but they didn't want to say that. I was like, context matters, guys. Why would I assume this when it's under this specific section? I've had to argue. Apparently all my friends we're just gonna hire you as our lawyer because the only one who can argue with these admins about bullshit. Like, they want to try and hold me accountable for shit.
Talking about bullshit admins.
All right, so I just had to go look it up. I am currently at Grand Admiral. And I'm 83% of the way to Space Marshal.
Oh my god, man!
You have
too much.
83% of the way to $5,000 spent on Star Citizen.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, I've only spent maybe a shade under 500, so that's crazy. And even that shocked me. Like me spending $500 on something is like, yeah. I typically know what I've spent. Like,
you know
500.
what Az is, right?
Sorry?
You know, Az made Praetorian.
No.
Yeah, he's a Praetorian because he has the Anvil F8C. So Praetorian is $15,000.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's some levels of I guess support or you know that are a bit insane when it comes to Star Citizen. But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it depends, right? You don't know how much money that guy makes in real life, right?
No, that's true. I mean, the other kind of thing that you can look at the way that you can look about it is like, you know, in any other enjoyable
need to dip for a
activity
bit, I
that you
might be
have.
back.
Okay, like any other enjoyable activity that you partake in, like you know, whether it's golfing, whether it's a sport, or whether it's, you know, something else. Like, how much money do you sink into that over a year, over 5 years, you know, over 10 years?
Yeah,
You know,
hobby's a
compare
hobby,
that.
right?
Yeah, compare that to like how much money you spent on something like Star Citizen or just gaming in general. It's actually not that bad. I
Even
think,
somebody
anyway.
that plays guitars or something, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a lot of money invested in guitars, or someone that's like shooting sports, right?
Makes you happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Dawn, what would make you happy right now? In Eve.
Belts back, or like not belts, sorry, not specifically belts. Mining anomalies not to be utter trite. And Sino's back on capitals. Why can't the most biggest advanced ship in the game not use a Sino? It's stupid. There, rant ended.
I mean, I can think of some reasons, but like, yeah, you don't want to hear them.
They're all bad.
They are all bad.
Like, at the end of the day, if I paid XYZ amount of money for a Titan, do you think I, as the captain, would not order, yes, I would like a Sino attached to my ship? Like, why would I not order one? Like, oh, this thing that automatically brings help to me anytime I need it? Nah, I don't need that shit. Hold on, we're going to budget for the stripper room instead. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Yes, there's a lot of the ships have, like, pleasure rooms or, like, recreation rooms, because, like, remember, like, Titans have millions of people on them.
The Caldari, there's one Caldari frigate that's meant to be a flying strip club.
Yep.
It's
in the, they've got it designed and everything.
So Dawn, you kind of can, but kind of can't have a Sino on a capital ship. It's just, it depends on whether you want to, whether you feel comfortable enough to ghost ride.
What do you mean ghost ride?
That's a horrible idea. And, he means put a fucking Sino Falcon or something in your ship maintenance bay, eject out of your Titan, and like said Sino.
You have to lock your Titan up though, because otherwise someone can just enter it. You have to lock your Titan up, otherwise people can just enter it.
Your idea is bad, and you should feel bad because you die and you're fucked.
I wasn't saying it was a good idea. I'm just saying that it was possible.
Or just put the Sino back on the Titan.
Yeah, somebody's gonna do that, Mac, and they're gonna say, "Oh, fucking McLeod for a minute told me it was alright."
I'm hoping with all of the I'm hoping that somebody out there from Horde is brave enough to try and do that. Because that would take some balls.
I get why they wanted to restrict it, because it was kind of bullshit that maledictions could fly in there through bubbles and Sino up anywhere. But we've already taken care of nullification, where it's not that big of a deal now compared to what it was before. So why can't we have Sinos back on Titans, or at least Titans? It doesn't have to necessarily be a super, or pick just supers. Pick one of the capitals. I don't care which one at this point. If any one of them could have a Sino on them, then at least those ships could potentially go ratting, and that would put bigger targets in space to create more bigger fleets, which create home defense fleets, which keeps people engaged on average more often than... I'm not going to go fucking save an Ishtar unless I'm absolutely like got the tick in my mind and be like, yeah, I feel like running around for 45 minutes chasing an Orthrus I'm never going to catch. That sounds like fun.
I can tell you the reasonings behind it, but you're not going to like it.
I mean, they're just trash is what it is.
I mean, they are trash reasons, but they are legitimate trash reasons.
What are the reasons besides
The
Omega
legitimate
crying?
trash reasons is CCP would prefer to have more people with alt accounts that are sub to Omegas.
Oh,
so
well,
it
that's
makes
a
it
given.
more.
Like, I get that.
They are happier for players to have more Omega accounts because they need to have an extra one to be cloaked up in a ship that Cynos in order to save their
but
Titan.
that's only if you want anyone to save you. You should be ratting in dead end drone regions where no one's gonna fucking drop you. Oh wait, who does that? Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, side note here. We've been talking about it earlier this week and a little bit of last week.
Oh,
if you haven't noticed, it's and then all the Hordlings were here earlier, right? And they've mostly gone away now, so we can talk about it. Horde is gigantic.
Well,
they've become exactly what they said that they didn't want the game to have.
Well, I mean, they're called Horde. What do you think they were going to eventually become? Like, but I would say that their capacity to showcase their power and their size on the CSM was woeful and lacking.
Mac, to answer your question, I expected them to become trolls and orcs and torrents.
Yeah.
I guess that's
now
true.
they're brigading people on Twitch. They do everything they said they hated about us that we didn't even do half of.
Yeah, that's like the crazy part is that like Horde and them were all like, goons are too big, so we're gonna go attack goons and kick them down to size. Well, all that happened was that Legacy died and they had nowhere to go. And instead of like spreading out, they all moved because they're all friends. I get it. You want to be with your friends. They all moved over to Horde and just became a bigger blob. And now they're like, I mean, I think we still have more capitals overall, but the problem is like with nobody logging in, who fucking knows whose numbers are what anymore? But Horde is gigantic, and they've taken over Poshven. They are doing a lot. Like they're just. I'm just saying, like Horde is going to become the new Bob.
Fucking C word, Don. How dare you?
I know. I feel icky.
Yeah. That's horrible. Anyway, I find it interesting though because when Imperium was like had their back up against the wall as such, like when we were all the way into a single constellation in Delve, none of us like for the most part. Like we kept our orgs together. We kept our orgs kind of like working together and not sort of not really, as far as I can tell, like breaking orgs down and absorbing them all into one giant sort of goon swarm kind of mass as such. But I'm just I wonder about this because Test clearly was like had its own kind of personality as such. However terrible that personality was. However terrible that was, but like clearly there wasn't enough to keep them together because they've basically just scattered to the wind and half of them has kind of joined Horde.
Billy move over to
after
Horde
3/4.
Yeah, the thing is that
so like
to Horde.
I mean, if your personality of Test is Billy and he moves over to Horde, like what do you have left?
But that's the thing. It's kind of like the personality of Test isn't like whatever Test was. It was the essentially just a cult of personality of like one or two people, like Villy and Progod. That was it.
Yeah, so I'm just seeing the writing on the wall of like there's less people logging in. Horde is scooped up so much. Horde is going to become the new Bob. If they were the old Bob, that's the funny part. Half of them were the old Bob, and they're going to become the new Bob. And I could highly see a World War B3 happening next year if numbers stay the way that they are.
If numbers keep going the way they are, there won't be an even year.
No, well, that's always possible.
It's one of those things where like
800. It's gone up by 500 since the show started.
Well, let's put it this way, like because there There was an interesting stat that came along, like I think it was yesterday or something, that the 2-week average for concurrent players in Eve has now dropped to the point that's below the blackout, or the period known as the blackout, or just blackout, which is kind of awkward, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the game, like
Don't worry,
you
they'll
mean-
make changes over the next months that might help.
Hilmar
Oh
made the worst.
Just wait till FanFest.
Hilmar made the worst choice, I feel like, with doing Blackout. Him and Falcon. I know Falcon's not a developer, but he was a really big pusher of it, right? And the crazy part is that they chose to do Blackout. They were like, and then they stuck it out, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, people will just get over it and they'll start playing again." Or the infamous Rattati of,
Also,
"Don't worry, you'll be back." Like,
yeah, you'll be back.
only that would
It's
be
all
true.
these exciting changes.
That would
Yeah,
be
all
like,
these exciting changes. What was the exciting change?
yeah,
Oh
just
yeah,
wait, you'll be back.
wastage, right?
Like the thing
Oh
is,
my God. Because he
if
actually
they
even
had made
said,
their changes, so if they had made their changes quickly within like 6 months and undid them or something, yes, some people would come back because it wasn't that long of a time frame for them to build a new habit, develop a new friend group, start playing other games. But 3 years, I'm sorry, guess what? Other people have moved on to other games that they like to play and have built those relationships and that social group to enjoy themselves in other games, that they don't have to come back to Eve. Yeah, maybe they miss some friends in Eve, and maybe they pop in every now and then and say hi, hang out for 2 weeks, and then back off to dinosaur games or whatever, right? But
the thing
at the
is,
end of the day, like
Or-
they
Or they do like we do and just, hang out in Discord on Fridays.
yeah.
yeah.
The funny thing is, and it was mentioned in chat like a little earlier, but like, people talking about like, oh, well, you've invested stuff in Eve. Like, why would you go and play something else or do something else or like leave Eve kind of thing? Well, the thing is, I mean, you invest in a lot of different games in a lot of different ways. Like, and it becomes more and more of a like, what are your friends playing sort of thing. And if you're having the situation where, like, for example, CCP seems to be trying to do is trying to test this whole like, sunken cost fallacy as to whether it's a fallacy or whether it's actually real. Well, that's a fucking dangerous fucking thing to play. It's a really dangerous thing to test out, because if you're wrong about it, then there goes your community, because your communities get scattered to the wind. And the unfortunate thing is, like, 2 weeks of not playing a game is enough for you to, for that game to kind of, disappear out of your sort of general sort of gaming, your general sort of, your kind of habits, right? And if enough of that happens to enough of those people, or if that happens to enough people in your player group, then there's little chance of you either going back to the game and enjoying it the way that you used to enjoy it, because half your friends aren't there.
And on top of that, they are making it harder and harder for players to actually organize events, right?
Oh yeah, you've been feeling that, haven't you, Sal?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
just so many things. And I feel like CCP, I'm sure someone in marketing over there is going, hello, because you're battling every other media outlet for someone's attention. Because if they don't find value, they will not keep paying unless they forget that they have a subscription, right? So if they don't find value in the product that's there, people don't pay for it. Netflix is feeling that by losing things because they don't have Disney stuff on there anymore. They don't have some of the other big shows on there, so they have to make their own, and a lot of their shit is trash. They have the random gems amongst the trash. So people are not finding value anymore in having a Netflix subscription over Disney Plus or so. Like, just with streaming, there's a huge battle. And then in gaming, there's always a new game coming out, and you've got to find some way to hold your players' attention. If you start making drastic changes that have really painful periods in between, that give people an excuse or time where they don't feel bad about not being engaged in this media anymore, you're going to lose them forever. And that is what has happened. They spent 3 years taking their sweet ass time, fucking everything over for the people who were here to try and get people back that left 5 years ago, and they're never going to get them back. Why would you throw away the good looking girlfriend for the hot piece of ass from 10 years ago that didn't like you in the first place? Don't get it.
Well, interesting analogy that you decided to use there.
Just saying, like, if you've got a stable, girlfriend or fiance, and then some like fling from 10 years ago is like maybe around, why would you throw away the loving, stable girlfriend for the hot fling who doesn't like you anyways? Like, you're never going to get them back. Please just give up.
I did kind of think that your analogy was a little bit mixed there, because like I kind of thought, like, the stable girlfriend's the one that's been there around there for like 10 years. Like the fleeting one is the one that, like, that CCP seems to want to be chasing, but they don't stay around. They don't contribute. They don't do anything or sort of enrich the experience in any way, shape, or form. They're off to play something else.
It's because they think that we're going to stay forever. And you know what? I don't need no man. I'm going to go find me somebody who appreciates me.
It's really hard to keep this analogy fit for Twitch. Really
it's
hard.
Difficult. So yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Yeah.
If CCP is not going to treat me right, I'm going to go find somebody that does, like a dinosaur game.
So the other kind of thing is, yeah, you go, girl. So I think this is the thing. Like, CCP's been kind of rested on their laurels for like far too fucking long. It's like at this particular point in time, there are quite a few games that are coming up and being like genuine, like somewhat genuine contenders for the people who play EVE Online for their attention, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's a cutthroat industry, right? It's a cutthroat business. Like, if you have a good product and you do good by your customers, they will tell you their friends, and their friends will flock to it from a game that is stagnating and basically abusing their customers. So
I can't believe CCP thought it was a good idea to just go, hey, we're going to spend the next 3 years making this game utterly unenjoyable for a potentially good future, which I'm still waiting for. They said it's done. Like, this is what we have.
Yeah,
3
I know,
years
right?
later, this is it. It's not getting any better.
Don't worry, guys. You'll see the picture. You'll appreciate it, and you'll love it when we finally finish it and everything like that. And they finished it, and we're like, "What the fuck have you done? Like, what have you done to my boy?"
There's one good change that I am very happy about, which is the moon compression and gas compression. It's not quite right. There's some still like tweaks on like making it a better experience, but the overall, like, finally, it took you 15 years, but finally, right? So that I will give CCC props. They finally threw me a bone to keep me quiet.
Yeah.
And honestly,
like, here's some scraps. Be appreciative, please.
I don't like the waste mechanics, but I understand. Like, I'm okay. Like, where the Rorqual's at. If they don't touch it again, I'm fine with where it's at, because the bridging is really, really nice. It's a very quality of life improvement. It makes sense. It's a big capital for mining with a fleet hangar, and like, it's all the support stuff. It should have always had that. I don't know why they never thought that was fucking important. But the Rorqual, if this is what I'm stuck with, I can live with what I have. Don't touch it again unless you're going to make it better. Please.
I literally have not mined since they did the changes. So I have zero things to contribute to this particular conversation. By the way, is it worthwhile me using more than one Rorqual?
No.
Okay, good. All right, that's fair enough.
No, you
I shouldn't have put all my money into Rorqual blueprints then.
Correct. So you just use one Rorqual and then a bunch of barges. And the changes to the barges are fantastic. I won't knock that. They're very tanky. I can't wait till CCP figures out that they fucked up on that one. But I love it. I'm not gonna argue with that. They mine like a motherfucker, and you just put a little money into it, and you can.
Mining. How exciting!
Listen, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I get a sense of joy watching all those little stacks of cash flow into my box. So just
You got like cash in your box.
Would you?
Let's not go there. Let's not actually go there specifically. I just want to mention like Ghost kind of. I think he went AFK quickly to get something
Ghoster
to
had
do.
to go. Yeah, he had to go let his neighbor's dog out. So.
Oh, okay. Like it just. Yeah, I missed that. Like, but it kind of looked like Greg just kind of like, well, I'm gonna go find Ghoster. Like, he's gone AFK.
Hey, don't even think about sending me after them.
No.
Like,
it's fine, mate. It's fine.
Walk.
It's a fairly lengthy walk, yeah. Like,
we all gotta
and
leave, so it's just a stream of 4 empty chairs on the camera.
Maybe a bit of a swim as well for yourself.
Yeah.
No, y'all just
Funny
gotta
little-
leave and stream 4 empty chairs. It will mimic the PCU of Eve at the moment. We think there's someone there, but in reality, it's just a bunch of empty seats.
It would mimic the moderation sort of capacity of the CCP Discord for sure.
So we are getting nearer the end. Do we want to do final thoughts, or does anyone have another point they wanted to bring up?
I mean, if you got some extensive thoughts that you want,
Push to Talk stole final thoughts from Theta, so I guess we can do that.
That's true. I suggested it for both, so if I originate the idea for both, then it's fine.
We can both have final thoughts. It can coexist. It's fine. We, like, oh, you stole having cameras on your screen on your stream from other things, like, Do we want to go down this route? Because it all ends in tears, man. Like,
does
it's
anyone
not
know
good
what
for
the
anybody.
first Twitch stream was?
Wasn't it some guy trying to get streaming for like his college classes or something like that? I don't remember. There is a whole history you can look at.
Like back when it was Justin TV.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That guy had to make a ton of money. I wish I could come up with a cool idea and make bajillions of dollars. I would sell out.
Well, I mean,
I'd be like, oh, look, I can sell this idea for $2 million. Hell yeah. And if someone's like, look, you could have made it $5 billion in 3 years, be like, yeah, I could have lost it all. I'm just saying, I'm going to take the sure thing. I can reinvest into my own company with the money that they gave me.
The first Twitch stream ever was a musical stream by Disclosure.
Interesting. Never heard of that. I've never heard of that artist either. So, clearly it worked, right?
Oh.
I mean, people already forgot who Ninja was, and he was like ridiculously popular. Like what, last year?
It's because Ninja's boring as shit.
That's because people thought that just because he was a top streamer that he could, present to things without it being cringy, and lo and behold, it ended up being really fucking cringy. And so people were like, this guy sucks. Like, why did you have him present things? And thank you very much.
Two TikTok stars, the Island Boys that did
they're awesome.
They did like a live show and like nobody showed up and they were booed. Everyone's like, no,
Get off the stage. Yeah, thank you very much.
Really good. A really good Twitch stream? That fucking Asher guy.
He hasn't streamed all week.
He's great.
So he gets nothing right.
He hasn't, but yeah, he does have a good Twitch stream. Do we have
has gone out to get cigarettes?
If he needs to stream, and then I will give, because I wanted to give him my Prime sub since it was coming up in August 16th or something, and he hasn't streamed since then. So until he
Did you
does,
say
he
it's
doesn't
coming
get the
up
money.
on August 16th, Don?
No, it was coming up. Listen to the word.
Say.
So
first she talks about like her new girlfriend, and now she wants to give.
I don't have a girlfriend. I'm straight. as
Why
a
don't you
board.
have a girlfriend, Don?
What's your
I don't
girlfriend's
like
name,
women.
Don?
Oh my god.
Yeah, what is her name?
I don't like
Yeah, this
women.
is 2022.
I
Just
hate
because
women.
your girlfriend
Does
doesn't
she
have to
have
be a girl.
Does she have an other friends account also?
Oh my god.
I don't want to
Okay.
say the word scissoring.
Oh,
So-
just did.
So, final
God damn
thoughts. We're gonna start at the very top of the board
Yeah,
here.
because we couldn't really do final thoughts unless Ghoster and Grovels actually got back to their PCs.
But they're back now. So, Ghoster,
Yes.
final thoughts of the week, shout outs, any last points?
Shout outs to all the PanFam test wannabe bros that joined our stream today. It was great to have you along for the ride, even though you're too incompetent to actually say anything nice, or undock for that matter. Other than that, I just wish CCP would make the game more enjoyable for the majority of the people that actually play their game, not the finite number of wormholers and faction warfare people. Other than that, Goonswarm is the best. I love Greg and Lamp, and that's about it.
Avon?
Okay. My final thought is thanks, McLeod. You make me fucking want to play Star Citizen again. You should come play with me now that you fucking forced me into. I'm playing a lot.
Anytime, dude.
Wait,
Anytime.
Wait,
I
we're
actually
having
have it
a fireside
installed.
today, right?
I think so.
Oh. Okay,
Hmm.
Taker, if you yeah, whatever this is. Anyways. So my final, since we're not on Theta Thursday, I'll do mine now.
I don't get a final thought.
No, you're gonna be after me, Greg.
Oh, okay.
On Push to Talk, we go in order.
Oh, all right.
Top down.
So my final thought is I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for everybody showing up, even if you were of the other side. I hope everyone had a good time hanging out with us. Thanks for raising our viewer count. Bam. And I am trying to do workouts every day. So if you're in Goonswarm and you want some easy like aerobic workouts, I've been posting them in the Theta Discord, so you can go enjoy them there. And I hope everyone gets healthier because it's very easy for us as Eve players to sit around doing nothing and getting the size of a house. So I encourage you all to do the 10-15 minute work because they're only 10 or 15 minutes is what I'm picking up. But if you do it twice a day, that's 30 minutes.
Of a house.
So some people need more. So if you do 2 15-minute workouts a day, that's 30 minutes of working out, just not in a row. So that's still good for you. So if you want to talk about it, we have a new channel in the Theta Discord called Swole Swarm, which I know is a SIG in Goonswarm too, but I just made the channel. And other than that, I hope everyone has a great week.
Nice.
Well,
Greg?
my final thought.
Yeah.
I want to talk about fucking Scum because it's a great game, and I just put a link to it in. I just put a link to the game in chat, and also above that, there's a link to the server that we play on. And so, if you guys want to join us, like, even if like you Horde guys think you're tough and Eve, let's see how tough you are, like as a prisoner on a prison island.
It's a
Anyways.
50 slot server. We own it. Come play with us. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Looking for PvP and Scum, people that will like regularly log in and try to actually have a little fight.
It's a big enough map where you can do your own thing. And
The map is huge. You can get lost and never see another person.
anyways, that's all I got for this week. Oh, and the Theta Thursday talent show is still being worked on. We're putting our finishing final touches on. Expect to see that in a couple weeks.
Nice,
All
nice.
right, Sauce?
Well, I have to disagree with Ghoster here.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't think the problem is CCP investing into developing new faction warfare stuff. I think the issue is that CCP can only develop faction warfare stuff because 80% of their devs are still working on the new player experience. Like, what the fuck was that about?
It's true.
But how many times have they worked on the new player experience?
That's
Soth?
what we keep joking
Well,
about. They keep reinvesting into it.
so I think they're working on the new player experience, but I think they're also working on like streamlining the experience between the new player experience and getting dumped into just the the mission system. because
Yeah,
like
but who gives a
everyone
fuck?
hates the mission system.
Like, Eve isn't the fucking mission system. Like, how many people actually, run the missions, right? How many people that actually stick around in Eve and actually are active players do missions?
Like I would be, you'd probably be surprised that there's probably a lot more than you think. But is it the most enjoyable part of Eve? Hell no. Is it something that actually is probably the detriment to people enjoying Eve? Probably, I would say
I
so.
like missions.
But to each their own, right? I guess. But should it be should it be something that every single player who comes to Eve experience? I don't think so.
Like, I wouldn't argue if they would put like 30% of the deaths on it, right? That sounds reasonable. 30% on like early game, and then like another 30-40% on mid game stuff, right? And 30% on quote unquote end game, right? That would be reasonable in my opinion. But no, 80%.
It's a bit ridiculous. I guess
As a side note, I stumbled upon the stock photography of teddy bear murder sex while messaging
Amazing.
What the fuck?
What?
Well, that's an interesting end to the show. Not gonna lie.
Take us home, McLeod. Take us home.
I just want to say, like, as my sort of like final thought kind of thing, is if you've ever kind of bad mouthed a game, especially if it's a game that you and it's a game that you actually haven't played yourself, you should go and actually play it. Like, if you're bad mouthing a game because of what other people have said, you should go and actually try the game yourself and see whether that's what's being said is actually truthful, or whether it's just like, someone being edgy, or someone like, saying half truths, that kind of thing. I used badmouth World of Warcraft quite a lot. And eventually I was like, you know what, I should probably actually go play this game rather than just badmouth it all the time. Be a little bit honest about it, right? So I went and played it, and it was just as bad as I thought it was. So, yeah. But I recommend
not that though.
Exactly. But I do recommend people going and doing that. Like, if you are bad mouthing a game, like, go and play it first, and so you know whether it is actually true, like whether what you're saying is actually true, or whether you're just like passing off bullshit myths like from one person to another. Like, you need to know this. But yeah.
I just wish it was bigger and you could easily play with your friends better. And I haven't touched it in like 2 years, so I'm like completely lost in it again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anyway, that'll about wrap it up for today.
Woo! I was thinking we were going to go a whole 2 hours today, but we win.
We'll make it work. We made it work. It's all good.
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
Obviously, I'm fairly certain that Meta Show is going to be in an hour. In an hour. So guys, make sure you are there. Make sure your pigeon is on and open, so you're getting the notification that Meta Show is on. But yeah.
Do we have any spoilers for the Meta Show? Who's going to be on the Meta Show?
Brisk, if you're looking for volunteers, hey baby.
I mean, actually, we haven't had our shower pick from Brisk.
Now you ask about that? I'm weird for asking about it last week, but now you can ask about it.
Well, I'm not going on about it. Like, you were going on about it like crazy. Like, I just mentioning it at the end of the show. Like, I'm not making a whole song and dance about it.
I didn't last week. You guys made a song and dance about me asking about it.
It was just, it's just fun.
So we don't know who Brisk is having on. I liked Dunk Dinkle last week. He did a really good job.
That was pretty good. Yeah,
person in general. So
yeah, I like that guy.
You know who? One of the little kind of thing. You know who I didn't realize plays Eve online, but if you play FPS games, you might know this name. But I didn't realize that Wacky Jackie 101 actually plays Eve online.
Henry Cavill plays Eve Online.
What the fuck is Wacky Jackie? What?
If you play PUBG,
And
you know the
Parmacut
name.
plays Eve Online.
Oh, yeah.
I'm old now to touch. I apologize.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Anyway, guys, that'll about end the show.
Thank you
Yeah,
for coming.
thank you very much for coming, and yeah, see you next week.
We love you all.
Meta show in an hour. Fireside is now, by the way, guys. So just so you know,
Really?
Fireside is now. Like, yeah, fair enough. Let's go.
No.
Anyway, see you.